Hello Gemini, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Gemini for the month of March. Now Gemini, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now Gemini, I do not offer personal readings, so if you get a message from someone, that is not me, that's someone impersonating me. Please do keep that in mind. Please do not get scammed. I also do exclusive content on my Instagram, so if that's your thing, definitely give me a follow there. But with all of that said, let's go ahead and get into this reading. Now, if you watch my content regularly and if you've not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. It really helps my channel grow in a big way. Same is true if this is just the first time that you are watching me. All right, let's go ahead and make sure everything's in view here. And then we'll get right into it. I think that looks just about good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you have the King of Wands. So Gemini, King of Wands is all about igniting your passion in some ways. The King of Wands, you can consider this person to be the most passionate person in the room. And in fact, they may even be the most talented person in the room. As you can see here, the star on the throne that they are sitting in, for me, that indicates that they are the star of the show. And so obviously, putting that together, this person is typically looked up to in the workplace. People go to the King of Wands for inspiration. And by the way, you can take on the energy of any king or any queen, does not matter what gender you are. These are just masculine and feminine energies, so just keep that in mind. But for you, you may be inspiring others. You may be trying to find inspiration. You may be trying to ignite a passion in your life. Most importantly, I think the King of Wands is a classic entrepreneur. It's like the entrepreneur in the tarot. And the reason being is they have many gifts, they have many talents, and they can use that to profit in some ways. Along with that, the King of Wands will never be stuck in a dead-end job. Okay, you will never find a King of Wands in a job that they don't like, because they have the ability, the resources, the accolades, the references to be able to go get any other type of job they want, or even start a successful venture. Wands is the suit of job, work, career, enterprise, right? And so it's obviously the king of that energy here. And so it's a very nice card to find. In fact, Gemini, you have a very nice reading here. I have to say, some of you, there is something in the thought process right now that you may want to look at. But we're going to go into that deeper here, and I'll talk about how you can maybe work through that. But right away, in the middle here, in this middle card, this card spills into the rest of the cards, and so it's a very important card for me. The Ace of Swords represents some sort of breakthrough happening in your life. Okay, this is the clouds clearing in the background, making way for something bigger, better, greater. This is also a victory or a success leading to a new beginning. And this card refers to your mental process. This can feel like an epiphany, like you may just suddenly have the answer that you're looking for, or you may clear some information that is just not serving you anymore, that may be happening in the mental process at this time. Some of you connecting on a business idea here with the King of Wands and the Ace of Swords, trying to figure something out in that realm for yourself here with that energy. So let's just move forward here. Now, in the beginning of the month, you have the Lovers, the Eight of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. So I'm really liking this energy here for you. The Lovers is your card. This is the Gemini card. And when you find this, it can talk about a deep relationship, obviously, between you and another person. For sure, could be a soulmate, or just somebody that you have a very deep connection with in your life. This could also, if it's not love, this can represent an important choice to make in your life at this time. And, this can be an important choice in love. It could be an important choice in life generally. But the Lovers card also talks about duality. Okay, Gemini is the sign of duality. But you can also see that there are two people, two dolphins, talks about kind of, maybe needing to juggle tasks, maybe taking on multiple things. And so for some of you here, that's certainly, there may be an important choice, but I actually feel like since this is the Gemini reading, what's going on here, this Lover's card is talking about putting yourself first. And I feel like some of you are thinking about you in the beginning of this month, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad idea to be a little bit selfish sometimes. Sometimes you actually have to put yourself first. You have this Eight of Wands, which represents potential travel. The Eight of Wands can represent long distance travel, travel by air, travel by flight, but it can also say that there is accelerated motion happening in your life. It's the feeling of getting unstuck. Same with the Ace of Swords. This combination together, and you have them next to each other, is very good. The Ace of Swords and the Eight of Wands here. This can represent news coming in from a distance, phone calls, text messages, letters, emails, anything like that. Important conversations maybe as well that you may be having. You have the Ten of Pentacles here as well in the beginning of the month, and Ten of Pentacles is like building your empire, right? This is a card of empires and a card of like creating generational wealth. There's something else that is not coming to mind. Oh yeah, built like it refers to like your legacy, because the Ten of Pentacles can indicate money being passed through generations, you giving your legacy, passing your legacy on to somebody else. And so for some of you, you may be thinking about like, what can I do to take those steps to start that for myself? Or for some of you, there could be like an inheritance happening here. There's a legal energy. Inheritances are a legal process. Estates are a legal process. So some of you, I don't think this is for everybody, but some of you could be dealing with that at this time. But the Ten of Pentacles, if that's not resonating, just refers to your abundance and how you're maybe going about creating abundance at this time. It's a very, very good card. It can represent a payoff as well. But yeah. So in the middle of the month, you have the Four of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Moon. So the Four of Cups here, you have the Devil and the Four of Cups with the Lovers, okay? So here's the thing. As I started this reading off, I said there's something around your mental process. This is what I was referring to, okay? The Four of Cups can represent boredom and apathy. This person's not moving forward. They're thinking about the cups of the past. There's a perfect solution in front of them, seemingly coming out of nowhere, but they're not connecting on it. And the Devil can represent fear. It can represent negative thinking. It can represent issues around power and control. And so for some of you, if I'm putting this together, I would be very careful of boredom at this time. Okay, boredom is not an energy personally that I like to see, because boredom can allow you to move into victimhood and say, oh, why aren't things working? I'm so bored, right? Like, why is nothing going my way? Or why is it always this way? I'm here doing nothing and I see people on Facebook having fun and I see people traveling, and it gets into this level of victimhood, right? And so I would be very careful about that energy with the Devil's presence next to the Four of Cups. You also here have the Moon, which represents fears, specifically subconscious fears, and it's coming in the lower row, which is the row of your subconscious. The Moon can say that, yes, maybe something's not as it appears, but you can also say that maybe something going on in your mind is not as it appears. You may be thinking that something is a certain way, but that's actually fear speaking to you. And so for some of you here, you're cutting through this element of fear at this time with the Ace of Swords, with the Moon, with the Four of Cups. And I would just be very careful of taking the carrot that may be dangled in front of you as it relates to maybe victimhood, as it relates to boredom, as it relates to apathy. And so, yeah, I would say just be very careful about that. In the future, you do have the Devil, the Strength card, and the Justice card. So all major arcanas, all three cards are major arcanas. Towards the end of the month, you're going to be dealing with major themes, potentially. We've talked about how the Devil, I think, is relating to this Four of Cups. But what's really nice here is you have this Strength card, which talks about overcoming internal obstacles, okay? And you really being in a battle against yourself. Not really, again, this is why I feel like there isn't, we're not dealing with other people's energies here. We're dealing with your energy and this battle that you're playing here with the Four of Cups internally around utilizing your time effectively, maybe, things like that, like not making excuses, not trying to come at you, but with the Four of Cups and the Devil, that could certainly be the case. You also have this Justice card, the Libra energy, but this is really about karma. This is talks about the actions that you take, will kind of balance out, and it talks about the karma that you're accruing through the actions that you take. So let's clarify this even more. Let's see what we have here. Let's pull some additional messages to see what we get. All right, get some oracle cards here. So you have this card that really wanted to come forward. Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times. Changes on the horizon here. With the Strength card, the Justice card, and the Eight of Wands can be considered a card of change in that things are moving quickly. You have Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing, as well as dream and journey. Okay, subconscious here. Subconscious is the dream world, is the subconscious. And you have the Stargazer card. Love this energy. Set your sights higher. So what are you looking to achieve here? Some of you looking to build a legacy in some ways, but maybe taking a hard look at how you can make that happen at this time. And let's go ahead and pull some additional cards here from the other oracle deck. So you have ask for help from others, get more information, romance, and abundance. Okay, so I love this energy for you. Some of you welcoming in a potential partnership here in your life with the Lovers, the Abundance card, and the Romance card. There is a lot of abundance available on this reading. Okay, I have to say, with the Abundance card, with the Ten of Pentacles, in and of itself is abundance in many ways. And for some of you that may be a love relationship. For some of you it may be literally like a new career path, or starting a business, trying to make smart investments. Whatever abundance is for you, this is available. Again, it's not biting off, it's not, what did I want to say there? Like taking the bait that may be coming through in your mind in some level of boredom, like not falling for the trap of boredom, okay? And I think working through that is going to help you out here tremendously in this month. Let's see what else we have here, because there's a lot available to you. So let's see what other messages want to come forward here. Okay, so you have the Hanged Man, you have the Five of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. Okay, so creating a strategy, creating a plan with the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords can say deception, so can the Moon. Okay, this can be lying, cheating, stealing. Both cards indicate deception, gossiping, rumors, anything like that. But every card has multiple meanings, and we've talked about how this Ten of Pentacles is like, what steps are you taking to build your abundance, to build your empire, to make a legacy for yourself? And the Seven of Swords can represent building a strategy. This person didn't steal the swords without having a game plan, right? And so for you, it's like, have you created a strategy? Have you figured it out? Right? And that's what I feel like saying. I feel like some of you are figuring it out. You have the Five of Cups with the Eight of Wands. Maybe disappointing news coming in from a distance. The thing is, the Eight of Wands by default is good news coming in from a distance. You do have this Five of Cups, which is someone who's standing in disappointment. Again, there's happiness available. Okay, this person's focusing on the Three Cups here. They're not recognizing that there's happiness available right now with the Two Cups behind them. And so keep that in mind. The Hanged Man says, what are you holding on to? Where do you need to let go and stop resisting? Let's see what else we have. The Ace of Swords coming in again. I like that. The Five of Wands. And the Page of Wands. So the Ace of Swords, clearly there are breakthroughs available here for you. To get that card twice in the same column is definitely a good sign for me. The Five of Wands here can talk about like conflicts, sparring, battling, having it out between you and another person. And I would say, that could certainly be the case here. There is disappointment next to it. There is communication around it with the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Swords twice. I would say, just if you're not looking for a fight, I would say be careful that you are, just be mindful of that. The thing is, with boredom will lead us to just rant. Boredom is one of those energies that will cause us to start arguments because things aren't going well. When you're bored, things are not going well. It'll lead us to start rumors, create gossip in our lives when we're bored, maybe even start arguments. And so I would say just take note of that. You have the Page of Wands here as well, which can talk about a new beginning, but also news coming into your life, good news, and it can also say that there's potentially a job offer on the horizon for you. It's a very good card. It can also say that you may be getting fired up about something. I would say be careful. The other thing, this Moon card which is under the Page of Wands, can represent an emotionally charged situation. I would say be careful of that as well. You have the Six of Swords, the Fool, and the Two of Cups. So the Six of Swords, you're going through a transition here. The Devil's energy with the Hanged Man, the Four of Cups. Are you trying to resist some sort of transition that's happening in your life? Instead, would it be wise for you to get in the boat like this person here is doing and kind of sail on calmer shores instead of trying to resist whatever is happening here? So clearly what I see is a new beginning with something or someone, with the Fool, the Six of Swords, and now the Two of Cups, which is a romance. Okay, this is absolutely two souls linking up in this lifetime. It's my favorite romance card in the tarot. You have this romance card, you have this abundance card, you have a new beginning here, not knowing what the future holds, but going for it. Like the Fool's about to fall off this cliff, or jump off this cliff rather, and they have no idea if they're going to land. This is the opposite energy of the Hanging Man. The Hanging Man's holding on. They don't want to fall off. The Fool says, let's just go for it, right? And so are you resisting a transition? You have this Five of Pentacles as well, which is, feeling less than, feeling unworthy. It's the opposite energy of abundance. And so for some of you, this may be a mental thing that's going on. For others of you, there are conflicts here involved. There could be money and emotions tied up in a situation. But at the end of the day, I really like this reading. Some of you are getting a new relationship. Some of you are going to a new place, with the Six of Swords, the Eight of Wands, and this could be physically, but it could also be in terms of your career, in terms of starting a business. You have Judication, Concern, Despair, Community, Journey, and House. Okay, yeah, there's something here with Judication, and then this Justice card, which is all about like karmic scales, divine scales, maybe literally legal situations and stuff like that. But the thing is, you're concerned about the way that something is going to happen. And it's one of these things where you can't know the answer right now, and for whatever reason that may be. And so I think some of you are looking to embrace the journey here at this time. And yeah, this could be around family situations. Some of you are going through changes and there's like family situations going on, but I think embracing the journey at this moment is going to really help you. You do have this Coffin card, which I don't view this as death and dying. I view it as an ending in your life, and that could be the end of, the place that you work. It could be the end of negative thinking. It could be the end of of being left out in the cold. Just keep that in mind. So that's what I have here for you. Thank you so much for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe to help me out, and feel free to sign up for my email list. There's a link to that in the description below. I'll see you in the next reading.